Peace and love, family. Let's continue to learn about the giants. We pick up the story right where the chaos began. Shemhaza, once a leader among the fallen watchers, found himself deeply regretting the path he had chosen. In a desperate plea for redemption, he turned to his two sons, Ojah and Haha, urging them to reform their lives. He knew the judgment was coming, and he still clung to a fragile hope that they might somehow be shown mercy. Surprisingly, Ojah and Haha listened to their father's solemn advice. They weren't just content to reform themselves, though, felt a responsibility to try and save others from the impending doom. They took it upon themselves to approach the mighty, chaotic giants the Nephilim and attempt to convince them to change their ways. They didn't preach fire and brimstone. Instead, they taught through wisdom, sharing profound proverbs that explained where true success and happiness could actually be found. Not in violence or arrogance, but in righteousness. And astonishingly, the giants, massive and brutal as they were, started to listen. They began to seek ways to reform their violent lives. But while this minor reformation was underway, the ultimate decree came down. Enoch, the great patriarch who walked with God, was sent directly to the Watchers themselves. His message was stark and final. Enoch declared that within exactly 120 years, every single one of the Watchers would be seized and bound, thrown into a dark, eternal prison of punishment for their grievous sins against heaven and earth. Furthermore, the consequence of their rebellion would also fall directly on their offspring. Their monstrous sons, the giants, would all be utterly destroyed from the face of the earth. The die was cast. The countdown had begun. It was around this critical time, with judgment hanging heavy in the air, that Noah, the only righteous man left in his generation, started to follow divine instructions. He began the impossible task of building the ark, a massive vessel destined to save life from the coming flood. This monumental undertaking was a physical manifestation of the prophesied judgment that Enoch had just delivered. Interestingly, out of all the chief watchers, the ancient texts suggest that only AZAZEL, the one responsible for teaching mankind forbidden crafts and weapons, was singled out for immediate binding and incarceration, receiving his punishment ahead of the rest. The stage was set for the greatest reset in history. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of this incredible ancient history. Thanks for watching. Peace and love, family.